Dear Miss Duncan, why bother to go to all that fuss for a young man who was a druggie and behaved so badly in court, laughing and joking? What will you do with all that money, foolishly donated by idiots who respond to the begging GoFundMe? Stupid, no doubt, we will ever be told. Everybody wanted, Jay's story. I just I weren't aware of what were going on back here. I weren't aware of what were going on. I would have sat in a room in Tenerife getting terrorised by, trolls, just calls. We know where Jay is, he's done this, he's done that. All these videos that were going around with, voice, like girls screaming Jay, and he's been stabbed on a beach, and oh my God, the stories, they were just unreal. I can't even describe the kind of human beings that they are, really, to sit and go through to all that trouble, all that effort to just rip me apart by trying to say that, he's in a hall, he's chained up, and just disgusting, absolutely disgusting. I wouldn't wish it upon anybody, that the torment that I've had to go through and that I'm still going through. I got I can't even remember what it on what do you call it? WhatsApp message, yeah. A WhatsApp message. You'll never see your boy again. He owes me all this money. And I thought, well, what is going on here? We've only just arrived in Tenerife, and what the hell? But I mean, I wanted to believe that he'd been chained up, because at least that way I knew that he was still breathing somewhere. I wanted to believe he'd been kidnapped and he were being held, because I thought, well, he's alive somewhere. Anything. He was still breathing. That were my, as horrible as it were. The first night, second night, I said to Zach, there's a pen there and a pad. I said, we'll start writing these numbers down. Within, half an hour, we had a full page. And then obviously, because I have WhatsApp, they were ringing me on WhatsApp, sending me images on WhatsApp and videos on WhatsApp. The ones that look like Jay, he's got something wrapped around his neck, that he's all beaten. I mean, somebody got sent a video, and somebody sent it to the Spanish police, actually, of a young lad being beaten. The Spanish police actually did act upon that, but it wasn't Jay.
Oh, they tracked it down then. It was 10 years ago in Russia.
Yeah, they ended up tracing it.
Down,
yeah, it's like these people kept frantically trying to contact me to say go to the beach. There's a video of somebody digging a hole on the beach, and it looks like they've dragged a body into this hole, and honestly, you just wouldn't believe the stuff that we got sent. And you're thinking, oh my God, and you're watching it. I mean, Spanish police did give us a private number to WhatsApp anything that we thought relevant. Probably kids, like young kids. I mean, you could tell weekend came and it were like, obviously they weren't at school. But I think if I'd have took every single one on board, I'd probably be in a bloody locked up in a padded cell by now. There were one that got reported, but it was just a young kid who lived miles and miles away. And I've got the letter there, and I just think, is there any point now? Just loads of messages, just making his own story up, really, about Jay, that he'd been murdered, and he made out that it were him that had
pushed him.
Yeah. I'd love to be a law against what people have done to our family. I would absolutely love it. Something needs to be done. because it was just vile. I would like to pursue, definitely, yeah. I just don't know how people can just get away with destroying people. I mean, whoever thought it were a good idea to start all these pages, Facebook pages, J Slater missing, J Slater discussions, J Slater this, J Slater that, they just, do they not have jobs? I don't know. How do they find time to do these things? It's shocking. The money is still sat there and I'm scared of even touching it, which I were right from the beginning, and they've had to kind of reassure me that, you know, these people donated because they wanted to donate, because Jay obviously touched the hearts of the nation and they wanted to help his family, which they have helped his family, because obviously we stayed in Tenerife for 6 weeks. We all came out, we all funded everything because we obviously didn't know what were ahead of us. But yeah, we've had to use some for accommodation and to stay there for all that time. Getting up to the capital, to the police station, going up to the funeral place. Obviously, we've got funeral costs now. We've got the file's not closed for repatriation, as I've said. They've got a property. They've got things that they've kept for the post-mortem in Tenerife that we're still going to have to arrange for repatriation again. It's just, I don't know when it's going to end. Just one night there was an incident where there were probably a couple of 100 people there, and a lad got attacked by what he described as 20 kids. But because he were there and people were going and giving statements, and I said to Jay, I think you should go and do a statement, because they were appealing for witnesses and what have you. So I took him myself. I took him to the police station at Blackburn, Greenbank police station, and he gave his version of events, and he weren't, I didn't think anything of it. I just said, just go, tell them your version, and that were that. Nothing were really mentioned afterwards. There were names flying around, and obviously there is a big group of friends. And then it weren't till the following April, so that was the August, following April, a letter came through saying that Jay were being charged with violent disorder, and all right, what's going on? So I rang the police station straight away, and because Jay's name had been mentioned, out of 20 people who'd apparently attacked him, there was eight boys that got named, and Jay's name were one of the names. Jay attended the trial. The statements that were taken saying Jay was stood at the back, but obviously the 8 were found guilty by jury, and they were all found guilty, and they all got community service. It's kind of guilty by association. Don't mean to say that he struck a blow, that he harmed Tom, and I think he's seen him since. There's grown men, dads, granddads, who get done for violent disorder for a fight that breaks out, say, outside a football stadium most weekends, but because of, obviously, Jay's in the limelight, they just every bad thing that they can say about him, they have done. They don't know Jay, they don't know his background, they don't know his upbringing, they don't know anything about Jay, these people. Just all these people who were just saying horrible things about him, he weren't that person. He loved being with his family, and he weren't a bad person. People dragging up all things that they don't even know about when it was in court. He was so loved by everybody.
One of the things that's been mentioned was another snap thing, which Jay apparently sent to Lucy, which was a snap saying that he'd stolen a 12 grand watch.
There were apparently two pictures of Jay. One, when you look at it, well, when I look at it as his mother, it was like, was he even conscious? He's got a pair of, it's dark, he's got a pair of sunglasses on. There's a caption across his mouth saying, stolen AP watch. I don't know where that came from. There's a picture of a still of Jay with this caption about an AP watch that's, you can see his arms up, you can't see his hand, you can see his arm. You see a little bit of his hand. There's no watch on his wrist, by the way.
Did Jay really take this Snapchat, or did somebody else take it? Was somebody holding up his arm? Was he dressed up in sunglasses to hide his eyes? It's dark, he's inside the car. Why does he need his sunglasses on? The picture just seems so suspicious.
And then there's another, I don't know how many seconds it is, of not Jay, but a guy driving a car with another caption, stolen a Rolex watch.
A guy driving a car with a caption saying stolen a Rolex watch. Well, we know that Jay went back with Ayub Kasim and Rocky, and Ayub said that he was driving the car back. So let's see what Ayub Kasim has to say about this Rolex watch, and is he denying this or not?
Of course I went straight to bed when I got home. Obviously I'll give him fags and that. He took a charger from Rocky's cell and that, whatever. And then boom, I went to bed 100%. Get Haley in the box. What? Bro, I don't know whose watch went missing. You know, furthermore, what watch is it? Question for you guys, because you're all talking about this watch. What colour is it? What type is it? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, you tell me.
And then apparently this was posted into a chat back in the UK, and they were all like, what the hell's, you know, what's this that Jay's just put in our group chat randomly from Tenerife?
Notice how she says, guys, this was posted into a chat back in the UK, and the people were like, what's this that Jay's putting on the group chat randomly? Firstly, guys, why would he send it to a group chat in the UK when he's in Tenerife? Secondly, now surely it was random because there was no other conversation going on at that time. Is it possible that whoever had Jay's phone sent this message to the wrong group?
No, the conversation, just this quick few second snap. So
What
I have no idea what that's about. Or
now, is it possible that this was the beginning of the false narrative about your son? For example, the people that had him wanted to make out as if he stole a watch so that there would be a motive later on for the reason why somebody would have harmed him.
was there somebody else sat outside of him with his phone? I've no idea.
Guys, she thinks it's possible that somebody else was holding the phone. Now, earlier on, she said that she basically thinks that Jay could have been unconscious while the picture was taken with him with the sunglasses on, saying that he's just taken an AP from somebody. Now, is it possible that Jay was dead a long time before they're telling us? Is it possible that he was driven towards the Airbnb while he was already dead? Is that why they dressed him up with sunglasses and lifted his hand and made these Snapchats all up? Is it all made up?
One of the things we've touched on is the drugs trade, and people have suggested that he fell foul of a drug smuggling gang or cartel. What's your reaction to that?
That was
made up TikToks, wasn't it?
Sick people putting voiceovers and, you know, the video of him on the dance floor and, oh, he's dropped a bag of drugs, and they've had to take Jay to forfeit this bag of drugs being lost, and it was just ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Unfortunately, some of the important questions that needed to be asked in this interview were not asked. For example, why did Jay leave the Airbnb scared? And why did he go in the wrong direction? If he was really there, why would he go that way? Why would he not go the correct way home? And why didn't he ask her, why did Jay go back with these two men in the first place? Does she know anything about that? Have Lucy and Brad told her anything about that? I think there's a big portion of us that just want justice for Jay, and we just want the truth to come out. And if there is a killer on the loose, we just want him to be caught. I mean, even she doubts that these Snapchats were real. The one in the car, she doubts that one. You can tell that she doesn't believe that Jay really took that picture. You see, there was another 2 Snapchats after that. One with him with the blanket on. Again, you can't see his face. Why can't we see his face? If he's taking a Snapchat, why is he just taking a picture of his toes, of his feet? It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Even his final Snapchat, where he's near that car, the white car, the suspicious white car, again, he doesn't show his face. And then we don't have any CCTV to prove that he was ever at the Airbnb. What if the woman from the Airbnb that said that she sent him to the bus stop was making it all up? What if she was paid to say all of that? What if she never really saw Jay Slater? You see, Ophelia didn't just say that she pointed out where the bus stop was to Jay. She said that she was traveling in the opposite direction and she saw him around 15 minutes later walking up that road. Now, why didn't she tell him at that point that he's going the wrong way? You see, guys, this is where the big hole in her story is. She says that she told him which way to go, and yet she didn't stop him when she saw him going the wrong way. She just seems so suspicious. Is she telling the truth, or has she been paid off?
I'd spoken to him earlier on. They'd just been chilling round their apartment during the day because they were obviously tired because they'd been to the Friday event, the Saturday event. The Saturday event were the pool party. Spoke to me earlier and he said he burnt his shoulders and I'd packed him off with some living, aloe vera, like after sun gel. I said, make sure you put that on, and he said, what you doing? He said, we're going to go and get food soon. And then they were walking, him and Brad were, because he said, why have you booked an apartment so far away? And I said, because I wanted you to have somewhere nice to stay, because you've got your 3-day event and then you've got another 4 days, and I wanted you to be somewhere nice. He said, we're going for food and then we're going to the last night of the event. He said, I'm not going mad, I'm going to have a few drinks, I'm not going mad because I don't want to be, I don't want to be rough and I want to enjoy the rest, get a tan and stuff. I said, watch what you're doing, enjoy yourself. I love you. He used to call me mother, I love you, mother. He said, I love you, my boy, and that were the last things that we said to each other, thank God.